Yes, Michael Saylor is getting sued from a class action lawsuit, but some of the details are not fully being explained. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky. And yes, just like we shared with you guys yesterday, we wanted to make sure that we were one of the first people that shared the news. Of course, a law firm opened up an investigation into Saylor's strategy over potential securities claim. That is true. Is there any ground behind it? That's what the courts will have to decide. Any law firm, especially a law firm itself, can always open up a class action lawsuit against anyone. It doesn't mean there's any merit or ground behind it. With that being said, does this surprise me? Of course not, right? People are losing a lot of money, and Michael Saylor has made very bold claims that might actually end with some form of settlement. The reason people are so upset is because STRC. Saylor promised investors that STRC offered guaranteed returns and that they could retire off of it. If those claims are true, I don't know. I know he tweets a lot on X. I don't know what his claims are. But if those are true, and now STRC is down, it's actually down 25% the last time I checked. It's down about 22, 23% from the $100 that it's supposed to be trading at. Think about this, right? You saw an ad by Michael Saylor. They offer you 11.5% interest off of your money. You put $100,000 to it because they said you could retire off of it. And then 1 month later, it's down 22%. Not only are you not so fascinated about the 11.5% anymore, but now you're down 22%. So it will take nearly 2 years for you to fully recover from that based off of where you bought at and where it's currently at. That is why people are upset. People sue all the time when they lose money. Now, can Michael Saylor possibly be the fall guy for this crypto crash, kind of like Sam Bankman-Fried was on the last one? Possibly. It kind of makes sense. It's just Michael Saylor has made it very clear. Again, I'm not a fan of him. I've never cared for his company. I've actually always talked about the risk about his company and Bitcoin at elevated levels. You guys can look back to my videos in 2024. Again, I'm not here to tell people what to do, but I always share the risk with speculative assets, making beginners aware of, hey, be careful up here, right? A lot of these rallies tend to be short-lived for moments like this. If you look at MSTR, again, from overall highs of $500 to now current lows, it's down over 82%. And even you don't even have to go that far. In just the past, what is it? In the past 45 days, right? From 197 to currently lows of $87, it's down over 50%. You don't even need to go that far. Anyone that's invested in MicroStrategy, I can reassure you that they're down 55%. And that's the thing that you'll see in the comment section. Oh, look at the last 3 years, or look at the last 7 years. Look at your average purchase price. Show it. I would love to meet one person that is up on their investment in MicroStrategy, that's been investing in MicroStrategy for the past 3 to 4 years. The only people that have made money are those that took profits or those that shorted MicroStrategy. Talk about the ultimate money glitch, right? With that being said, again, you can invest in any speculative asset that your heart desires, just like I can share awareness of any high-risk speculative asset that I believe beginners should be cautious and aware of. And if that offends you, then that's your problem, right? But I also do want to say that, yes, Michael Saylor has made it very clear. I don't like the guy, never cared for him. But with that being said, he has made it very clear in multiple interviews that he said MicroStrategy can go to $1 and he wouldn't be forced to sell his Bitcoin. That is not the trigger. The trigger is his STRC obligation for dividend payments, right? He has these different ETFs or stocks, whatever it is that you want to call them, that he borrows against. He pays a dividend on those ETFs or stocks every single month. If he does not have enough money in MicroStrategy to make those payment obligations, then he could be forced to sell Bitcoin holdings. This is where the death spiral can begin. What's the death spiral? Well, think about this. What caused Bitcoin and MicroStrategy to aggressively begin to sell off? Him selling like 33 Bitcoins. I don't know. It was a very small amount, right? 25 Bitcoins. I don't know what the dollar amount was, but nonetheless, very small amount. If he needs the money to meet these payment obligations for his dividends and he sells Bitcoin, it will only cause Bitcoin to sell off even more because more uncertainty. He said he would never sell, but now he's selling. If Bitcoin sells off, then MSTR will begin and continue to sell off. And if STR continues to sell off, then so will STRC. So now you have the death spiral. One hurts the other. And again, how do you stop it? Well, you're going to have a fall guy. And it seems like Michael Saylor might be him. The other thing that I want to share, dollar cost averaging long-term into speculative assets like Bitcoin. I believe that Michael Saylor and Tom Lee are perfect examples of why it doesn't make sense to dollar cost average into these speculative assets. They are living examples of it. Michael Saylor is down $14 billion by dollar cost averaging into it. And the only reason that he's not liquidated is because of how he borrows against his shareholders. If this was anyone else that leveraged themselves, they would be margin called and forced to sell. Same thing with Tom Lee. With that being said, we'll see how this ages, right? But again, those that have made the most money, right? We're all here for the same reason. It's to make money. It's only those that have taken profits or did not add more at elevated levels because they knew that eventually these speculative assets do crash 50 to 80%. And then when they find a support and begin to recover, then it could make sense to continue to add more and trade it. But other than that, just a speculative asset. The reason I call it a speculative asset is all the people that continue to talk about how they believe in Bitcoin. I wish I could believe in something that hasn't made any progress in the past 10 to 15 years. Bitcoin is supposed to be a currency, but yet we can't use it anywhere. It's like you think with how much you guys hype it up, there would be advancements in the technology and implementation into our day-to-day life, but there isn't. And that's not an opinion, that's a fact. You would think that there would be some true progress, but there isn't. Not in retail, not in institutions, not with government. It's like, it's always just hype. They just try to talk about it, to hype it up. But guess what? The attention is shifting. And that's really what we're beginning to see. Think about this. During the most bullish market, this AI boom, markets, as in the stock market, the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, are thriving. They're nearly at all-time highs. We saw a little pullback recently, but they're all at all-time highs. Bitcoin is down 50%. What do you think is going to happen with Bitcoin and all of these speculative assets if they're already down and then NASDAQ and Dow Jones and S&P 500 begin to fall? It makes sense that if those begin to fall, then again, the other speculative assets will only fall harder. Speculative assets crash the hardest, especially during uncertain times. Please, I encourage you to do your own due diligence. Look into the company, right? We've talked about it, Investing Pro. It's the first link in the description down below. You can look into this company fundamentally. I would love to learn one thing about this company that is of value, right? I don't believe in Bitcoin, but I believe in your right to own and invest in any speculative asset that your heart desires. Why would you ever invest in a company that loses hundreds of millions of dollars, this failing software business? It makes no money, it loses money. And all it does, it dilutes you. Again, I'm not pro Bitcoin, but if I were to ever to buy Bitcoin, I would actually buy the Bitcoin itself. I would never include a middleman that gets me diluted. Like, that's not just stupid, that's dumb. And again, to each their own, right? I'm baffled that people continue to try to defend this guy after the amount of loss that he has had for his investors, being down over 80% from all-time highs, he himself being down over $14 billion, and my favorite meme of all, refinance where, Michael? Who's going to refinance him with a speculative asset that is losing a ton of value? No one, right? He couldn't answer the question. And I don't think many of you guys can either, right? The biggest thing is, can crypto crash harder? Yes, especially with what is currently happening internally. Now there's a shift of sentiment. The Federal Reserve is possibly expected to maybe raise rates once in 2026. That's not bullish, that's bearish. And if that sparks the market to begin to retrace and sell off, then crypto can definitely trade lower. But if markets find a support, Federal Reserve begins to cut interest rates, that is bullish for speculative assets. Then maybe that could begin to cause a recovery. I am not here to say that any of us can predict the future. All I'm here to say is read the room. The red flags have been present. And hopefully with what you've experienced right now, encourages you to be more calculated, more intentional, not emotional. You don't have to attack me because I talk bad about a company that you're down on. Again, that's your fault, right? I don't even support the people that are choosing to sue Michael Saylor because they took a loss on investing in MicroStrategy. I think all the red flags are there. I think if you were dumb enough to bag hold that stock, that's your fault. With that being said, people sue all the time when they lose money. It is no surprise that they're going to be trying to use Michael Saylor as the possible fall guy. But again, we'll see if it actually develops into that. Very excited to follow up. And I'm most excited, again, in celebration of MicroStrategy crashing, we are offering a promo code MSTR for LPP 3.0. It's one of our biggest discounts. It ends tonight. And if you want to join us, it's the second link in the description down below. And again, because MSTR is down over 50%, you can get nearly 50% off LPP 3.0. Again, the sale is active until the end of tonight. You don't have to join if you don't want to, but I trade live every single morning right at market open. You get to watch me trade live every morning. It's a one-time payment, lifetime access. We have members that signed up back in 2018 that still watch me trade live today. And whenever it is that you're ready, it's the second link down below. If you want the discount, it will be active until tonight. And again, that is promo code MSTR at checkout. I really do appreciate you guys' time. I hope I earned your thumbs up. And like you saw in this video, I can talk bad about MSTR, but in a way that also sheds light on when the news is kind of fluff, which is what I think that this class action lawsuit is for now. So again, if you're offended by that, then that's kind of just your problem and you'll just have to keep watching. So I appreciate you guys' time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.